friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome. My name is Whitney. I'm 31 years old and I am on a weight loss journey. On October 27th, 2020, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, or VSG surgery. That is a type of weight loss surgery, also known as the gastric sleeve. So today I'm not coming at you with a weekly update or anything specifically weight loss related for my own journey, but I did want to show you a couple of things that I recommend getting for surgery if you are a pre-op. And don't mind my cat, she just wants to be part of the process today. So these are just a few things that I ended up using a lot after my surgery that I think most people would find very helpful. So some of them might be things you already have or plan to have, and some maybe not so much. So the first thing is not something I can show you, but it is that I really recommend having someone that you are close with, that you are comfortable with, to help you during the first couple of days of your recovery. In my case, that was my best friend, who was absolutely wonderful. If you're married, it might be a spouse, it really could be anyone. But even though this surgery is not as hard on you as some other surgeries can be, you're not going to be laid up in bed generally. It's still really helpful to have someone to drive you around, right? Because you're not going to be able to drive at first, and while you're taking narcotic pain medication, you're not supposed to be driving or operating heavy machinery. But also things like I couldn't really bend over at first. So the first couple of days, I needed help getting dressed. I could do my shirt and stuff myself, but bending down to get pants on was really difficult, things like that. So having someone who can help you is absolutely huge. So that's number one, have someone that you are comfortable with who can help you. Number two, and I should note that these are not really in any particular order. I'm just gonna jump in. We're gonna do some potty talk. I recommend getting some milk of magnesia. So this is used to help with constipation. If you have this surgery, you are very likely to struggle with constipation at some point in the first couple months after surgery. Some folks deal with constipation from the time they're on the pre-op diet after surgery. Some folks are good for the first few days, but once your body gets used to eating that super tiny amount, have a harder time. The milk of magnesia can help you have a bowel movement. But the nice thing is it's a non-stimulant. So it's not going to give you a lot of cramping and stuff. It's very, very gentle. It just helps draw water into your colon to help you poop. And that's a good thing. So that's number two. Number three is a little pill cutter. This is something, again, you might already have lying around. I did not have one. I've never had trouble swallowing pills. Oh my gosh, you guys, my cat is just dying to be loved on at this exact moment. So the pill cutter, I've never had trouble swallowing pills, but what I found after surgery is that because you can't take big sips, it's really hard to swallow pills. And so, to the extent you can avoid things in pill form, that's ideal, right? Do chewables or liquid type things. But there were some things, for me, my pain medication was in pill form. And so being able to cut those in half really helped. The other reason it was helpful with my pain medication specifically was that after a couple of days, I didn't feel like I needed the full dose of that. I was given Norco. And so it was really nice to just be able to take only half of a dose without trying to MacGyver how to cut the pill. This thing was maybe $1.99 at CVS. It's really handy. Cuts it right in half for you and even has a little compartment where it'll store the things that you cut. So definitely recommend that. Number four is one of these guys. So this is an abdominal binder. It's basically a big piece of elastic. So you'll want to talk to your doctor's office about this one before you purchase anything. There's a very good chance that you will be put in an abdominal binder in the hospital, or that they will give you one while you're there. I actually woke up from surgery in my abdominal binder. And basically it just kind of holds your tummy in nice and tight, and it really helps with that pain around your incisions, and particularly if you have the sleeve surgery, the incision where your stomach comes out. It's really helpful when you're up and walking around, or like if you have to cough or sneeze, to just hold everything in and help reduce that pain so that your tummy isn't moving around as much. It will also help with the swelling. The reason I say this might be something you want to buy is, one, if for whatever reason your program doesn't give you one, but also I was given one at the hospital, and it was fine for like the first 2 or 3 days. But what I found is I must have been between sizes on these. And the one that they put me in at the hospital, once my swelling came down a little bit, was too big. And so I couldn't get it nice and tight to really cinch me in the way that it was most comfortable. The other thing is that since they did put me in my abdominal binder right out of surgery, it had some like dried blood and stuff on it, which was kind of gross. And so I wanted to wash it, but I didn't know if it would hold up in the wash. And so I wanted to buy an extra one to have just in case, because I lived in that thing for probably at least the first 10 days post-op. And I really liked this one that I got on Amazon. I'll link it down below, because the one I got at the hospital had this like, and I have it up there, I can show it to you. It kind of had this flap that goes over your tummy. And then it had like one spot where you attached the Velcro on the other side. So it wasn't super adjustable. And what that meant for me is that you have to wear it at where it hits you at your widest point in terms of sizing. And so it fit fine around my hips, but up around my waist and rib cage, it was too big. So it's like I had this big gap. And so that was kind of annoying, both because it wasn't really holding me in up there, but also if I was wearing any clothes or anything, it like caused it to stick out. So I like this one because it just attaches to itself. So you can see, like you wrap it around yourself and you can put it at an angle or whatever, which is what I ended up doing. And, it was just much more adjustable than the one I had gotten from the hospital. So I want to say this was like 15 or 16 bucks on Amazon. It wasn't super expensive, and it was really clutch there for the first few weeks. And even after that, when I wasn't wearing it all the time, if I was going to be going out and walking a lot, going shopping or something like that, that was a really nice thing to have. And then the last thing I don't have here to show you, but I recommend you get some sort of wedge pillow or something, some sort of accommodation that will help you to sleep sitting up, or at least kind of propped up, not necessarily straight up. I know that sleep after surgery was the hardest thing for me for the first few weeks, because I just really couldn't get comfortable. Laying down was not comfortable, and I'm a side sleeper. Definitely I couldn't lay on my side, either side. And so my roommate happened to have a big wedge pillow that I was able to use to prop myself up in bed with some pillows, as well as that nice thick foam wedge pillow. And that's how I slept for the first about 10 days or so, and then sort of gradually weaned myself to sleeping back to normal. And I think that was really helpful. They're not that expensive, and they have other handy uses. So, you know, I recommend getting one of those if you don't have like a recliner or somewhere that you're comfortable sleeping sitting up. I don't think it's necessary to get a medical recliner or anything like that for this surgery, but you know, for 20 or 30 bucks, you can get one of these pillows. It helps you sleep better. I think it's worth it, and the better you sleep, that's going to help your recovery. So those are the 5 things I recommend getting for surgery. Those are not things, I didn't buy any of those pre-op. They weren't really things I had thought about, but they're all things that I ended up either purchasing, or in the case of my best friend's wedge pillow, borrowing within like the first 48 hours of surgery. I realized that all these things would be really clutch. So hopefully you find this helpful. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to my channel. I am very happy to have lots of new subscribers. And until then, be a good person. Bye, guys.